So in the past few months, I added a few more features to Rephysicalized, so I decided to make a second showcase video. You can find first one in the description. One of the new features is rephysicalized metal ores. Now they are actual compounds of sulfur or mercury in case of gold, or oxygen in case of aluminum and copper. Since this gives you more sources of sulfur, I added more uses for it as well. Now, smoke slugs, plug slugs, shinebugs can eat it, and lure plants require sulfur for fertilizer instead of polluted water as it was previously in Rephysicalized. Since this decreases the amount of metal you have, I decreased the building cost of conductive fires. I also expanded interaction with rad bolts. Now you can blast several types of metals. You can now create fission effects which refines ores and also shifts them leftwards on the periodic table. Also metal ores and metals received property called storage capacity. It is loosely based on material sturdiness and fatigue resistance in real life, and it allows you to modify storage capacity of several buildings. Some elements giving larger storage capacity and some decreasing it. Also, refrigerator, ration box, and bottler can now be built out of metal ores, so you can increase storage capacity of fridge by building it out of iridium, just like in real life. Gas range and ice liquefier, as combustion buildings now properly require oxygen for function. You can now deliver bleach stone to sublimation station to increase its sublimation speed. Viscogel fluid and supercoolant can now be used as lubricants. Supercoolant will give lubricants larger stress reduction, and viscogel fluid will give them some radiation resistance. Emulsifier now contains recipes to make brine and sap. I adjusted some recipes in plant pulverizer, so now briquine must be made out of brine. You can now turn feather fiber into reed fiber by combining it with plant husk. Atmos suits now require just 200 kilograms of metal instead of 300. Juicer and soda fountain give you immunity to toasty surroundings, and espresso machine gives immunity to chili surroundings. I also rephysicalized critter fountain. Now when a creature drinks from it, it will receive 1 kilogram of mass into its body, and it will pee 4 kilograms of another liquid immediately after drinking. And different creatures can have different pee liquids. By default, it's polluted water. You can check in a Critter's database which liquid creature produces after drinking. I nerfed mercury lamp. It now requires more energy to run, and I decreased its light output to 40,000 lux. It's too strong and rephysicalized since it allowed you to fully max effects of algae terrarium and oxyfern. Now it's a bit less powerful, so you have to combine it with natural light or some other light, or run two at the same time. I extended elemental preparation. Now some elemental preparation may require some time. For example, you can turn plant husk into plywood in a compressed resin without using plywood press. You can also now smoke food in hot compressed carbon dioxide. The database contains information on all of the environmental preparation recipes. I borrowed ore dissolving mechanic from the mod called Organic Overhaul, which this mod has some integration with. Some ores to dissolve in liquids. So you can use it to pollute water, or rust some metal ores, or turn isosap into sap. The ore dissolving page contains all of the dissolving conversions. Next, I improved creature's mass tracker, and it now contains the mass of scale growth or milk. For example, here in vanilla, Brikin's supply is just a number which doesn't actually mean anything. It will allow you to milk the moo at 100%, but no actual Brikin exists inside of it. Now this is not the case. You can extract milk or scales from creatures preemptively, even if they didn't reach 100% growth. However, this is just a one-time use feature. Cooling eggs down to minus 100 degrees Celsius puts them at cryostasis, at which they don't develop or lose viability at all. Also, radiation speeds up viability loss of some critter eggs. Beta hives are now rephysicalized. They will lose 1 kilogram of mass, and if they don't have enough, they will just not spawn them. They can gain mass by sucking up carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. They will also gain mass from consuming uranium ore. When betas deliver uranium ore to the hive, they will unload all of their mass into the hive. You can now deliver enriched uranium into the radiation lamps. Using enriched uranium in radiation lamps increases their radiation strength. Critters which have rephysicalized metabolism can now consume their gastrolith from critter feeders, and the critter feeder contains all of the gastrolith tags in respective creature tabs, so you can filter it. Glass tiles can now be made of clean ice, and with True Tiles mod they have a unique texture. And also lime is now a buildable material. It has higher decor value than any other raw mineral. Overloading wires and also power banks and batteries taking damage in water will zap nearby creatures. Added a simple integration with Ronivon's legacy mod. It includes most Ronivon's buildings will now conserve mass. Combustion-based buildings require oxidizer gas and will produce ash or crud. Ronivon's metals have wattage and storage capacity modifiers. The integration is not full. For instance, advanced metallurgy will override rephysicalized metal ores. I've also added some settings into the mod, so you can now modify the amount of mass gained from comets. Also, you can disable rephysicalized metal ore, so the part where ores are compounds of two elements. You can disable batteries taking damage in water, and you can disable large generators being entombed in ash.